Okay, everybody, we're about to get started. Oh. No. Okay, welcome everybody to the IGDA Las Vegas October meeting. I'm Grover, I'm the chair of the IGDA, the chair of the IGDA Las Vegas, and I want to thank you all for coming. I want to thank the IGDA Las Vegas board for helping host this event. Thank you to Rob Roy and the Innevation Center for also helping host this event, and thank you to anybody who is part of the IGDA for helping host this event. For those of you who don't know about the IGDA, it stands for the International Game Developers Association. It's an inclusive nonprofit organization help to better the lives of people in the game industry and people who are wanting to get into it. For tonight's event, we have Patryk. Patryk is the CEO of the Lublin GameDev Foundation, and he's also the head of the games department at Netins Software. He'll be giving 2 talks today on getting started in the game industry, as well as talking about game jams. And afterwards, Gunnar will present the winners of the survey contest from last month's meeting, and then we will have the last hour devoted to networking. And without further ado, please join me in welcoming Patryk to the stage, and let's give him a round of applause.
Give me a moment to switch. Yeah. So today's first presentation will be about how to start your game dev career. So how many people here don't work on games yet and want to start? Okay, quite few. Great, great. So this talk will be for you. So, hi, I'm Patryk Gałach. I'm making games for more than 5.5 years already. Mostly this time I spent in Poland, from where I came from. I'm also running Lublin GameDev Foundation back in Lublin. And I'm also head of game department at Netins Software, and this is company that bring me here. So, what's the agenda for today? So the first one, of course, difference between IT and game dev, because there are some similarities that you might consider, go either way. And how life of game developer look like. Of course, how to not be your average person that want to go with this game dev dream, and of course, where to start looking for game dev jobs. So, first, IT or game dev? Which one should I choose? Well, I will go with second options, mainly because I'm afraid of corporate IT. So, of course, with IT, you know, I imagine that you have like dress all those suits, stay all the time in front of your computer, do things that other people tell you to do. And I don't really like that. I like to have this little freedom that game dev is giving you. And of course, you will meet so many crazy people in game dev that I don't even consider going into IT. That's my opinion. So, of course, you don't need to be a programmer to make games. I think we are moved from those times, and right now, everyone can make games. There are tools that don't require programming skills at all, and sometimes you just need to connect some blocks and game will work. Of course, besides programmers, there are so many game opportunities, so you can be game designer, sound designer, making models, concept art, so many things that I can't even name it. But probably if you came from a little weird background, probably there is some opportunity to work in game dev, nonetheless. So what connect all those people working in game industry? So of course, first, passion. You have to be passionate about the games, because other way people will see that this game doesn't feel right because I feel that the guy who made this game was forced to do that. And players will feel that. And so you really have to have a passion for making games and of course playing, because you will learn so much by playing other games. Of course, dreams. everyone to make games. I want to make my game so great that it will get award for the best game of the year. This is also my goal. So maybe someday, maybe. Of course, working on a game, you have to establish common goal with your teammates. So you will follow the same dream to make the same game. Sometimes this is a problem, especially on the beginning, because so many people will throw new ideas to your game, and at some point you will have this weird thing and that is not connected to each other. So you have to have common goals and try to achieve them. So what's being game developer look like? So of course, you will imagine being developer will be like being a god. I can create everything I can make on the flip of a switch instantly. Well, it's not like that. I hoped it will be someday, but not at this point. Sometimes you have so much fun adding those little things, and sometimes there are people that, oh my god, I just implement the doors opening by itself as player approach them, and people will go crazy and they will enjoy that because it's so fun to see those things come to reality and live. And there is also this other side. I love this picture. I don't know how many of you know the Witcher series. Anyone? Oh, great! Whoa, amazing! So you probably didn't hear about the first and second game, but the third one, it's gets to you. And there is this true, I don't know if you know this term crunch time, but basically this is a point where you are coming to the release of the game, and there is so much more to do that you cannot squeeze in your normal work time, if there's something like that it exists in game dev. So probably you will have to spend additional hours during the week and sometimes even weekends to deliver product within this deadline and release game. But you have to remember that, come on, we are making entertainment. We should bring joy to players, and of course, oops, come on, I broke it. Oh, yeah, so you should bring joy to players, and of course, you should bring some kind of joy to yourself, because come on, we can't be that boring. We are making games, we should have fun doing that. And of course, this is great because making games is something so interesting that you will come up with so many weird problems that you should have find solution, but yeah, sometimes it doesn't work. But why we have those patch that you can later apply. Of course, with making games, there is some risk, actually pretty big. Right now, I'm not sure about statistics, but last year there was 7,000 game released on Steam only, and I can even count how many games are released on mobile every day. Those are probably hundreds. And you have to you have to know that making games is not something easy. And as I said, this is also some kind of risk trying to release games. Sometimes, well, this is a good example. You probably know Angry Birds, and the story of Rovio is that they start making games back in 2000s, I think 3 or something. They create so many games, but none of them succeed, and they almost file for bankruptcy. So they decided to, okay, let's make this last game. And they came up with Angry Birds. So, you know, sometimes risk pays off, but I don't know how many stories are going in different direction, but you have to know that sometimes things don't pay off. So, how to not be an average person that want to get to game industry? Because this is our dream. So, first things first, you have to start doing things to show that you are really passionate about making games and you want really to get to the game industry. So I have a few ideas for you. So those are really simple ones. So you can get paper, pencil, start drawing your ideas, start describing them, and this is great exercise for your game designer skills. This is great. And remember, at the beginning, don't overcomplicate games, try to make those simple ones. Of course, this is the only time I will say that cloning other games is a good idea, and only because you can learn so much by cloning other games. Because on the beginning you won't have any idea how games works, and seeing how other people will make them will give you so much knowledge, and not only about programming, but also with designing and making some kind of effects. Because you will have to clone them, and you know, cloning one-to-one, it's not good idea, but try to add some little tweaks to it. Third option, maybe you will get some assignment from your school, and maybe you will see, I can make game based on this assignment, and maybe try to give this to your teacher. And see, you need basically find a way to make more games, because with more games you will learn also more, and you will build also your portfolio. Next one, this is the best advice I can give you. We will have next talk about game jams, and attending on game jams is great way to build your portfolio, and you will also see if making games is something that you are interested. If not, you will waste only one weekend of your time. And based on those four, you can take another step. You can join other people working on the projects. So you can apply or try cooperating with people that works on open source games. There's a lot of those for Linux, and you can just Google those projects and try to apply to them. And if you don't or if you don't feel like joining others, maybe you should try to build your own team. So, and of course, the best way to get noticed is to share your knowledge, and this is why I'm doing this. So, you don't have to be an expert in any field to make presentation. Sometimes all it takes to make some research, and based on your findings, you can tell other people, hey, I just found that making AR games or VR games in Unity is pretty simple. You can just throw few components on a scene and it works. Wow, amazing. Or you will find something else interesting and you want to share that with other people, so go ahead. There's so much opportunity. You can give speech like this anytime. So, of course, another thing very important, you have to meet people. You have to go outside your basement and start speaking with other people. And you have few options here. Probably there's a lot more. You will know other conferences here. I don't know many yet. So GDC is a great place to learn about making games, and they have so many lectures there, and they also put those on YouTube. E3, of course, you'll see booth of other games, and you can speak with game makers and see what they are doing, and maybe they will tell you something interesting. Of course, PAX, I heard that on the PAX there is this indie mega booth thing, I think. And so you can go and meet independent developers and ask them how they came up with their game and what is their experience. Of course, if you're more into computer graphics, go to SIGGRAPH. This is basically the newest high-tech edge things related to computer graphics that there can be. So if you are really nerd about those things, go there. And of course, the best place to meet people is local communities like this one. Come on, join them, attend events. Of course, IGDA, Unity Meetup, Unreal Meetup. There's probably even more of those in Las Vegas. I think it should be. And probably there are also other communities around US. So whatever you come from, there should be at least something. Or if there is none, like in my case back in Lublin, I have to create my own community. So yeah, and those are just few that are in Poland. And this GOAT one is Lublin GameDev. Oh. So after every event or meetup, there is of course some time to network with other people. Of course, if there is a beer, then even better. So you can stay today, especially today, and speak with other people, ask them what they are doing, and try. Maybe they will tell you something interesting, and maybe those little shortcuts, how to get into game industry. So let's say you've done all those things and no one still reached out to you to hire you or offer internship. There's few options. I just found those two first, Indeed and Glassdoor. There are some game dev job offering there, so you can apply over there. Of course, you have to have LinkedIn account, so headhunters will find you and offer jobs, of course. And this is really building your confidence that, oh, I'm getting somewhere. It's great. I was so happy as I received my first job offer on LinkedIn. I was like, crazy. Of course, if you are using some kind of tool or game engine or whatever else, there's probably forum related to jobs offerings. In Unity case, there's even a separate category for that. Probably for Unreal, there is something similar. If you are using, for example, Photoshop, Blender, whatever else, probably there is also something like that. Of course, attending local events is also a great place because people tend first to go to your local communities to find new talents. So at some point, maybe someone will came here and, hey, I'm looking for, let's say, developer who knows about this, this, and this, or I need an artist who can do this, this, and this. And this is great because you can instantly go to this person and start chatting with it. And if you don't want to work with other people, start your own game studio. It's that simple. But remember, at first, don't go with any MMO idea. Please. So, what is your decision? I will leave you with that. So, those are just few things, tricks that you can do to get into game industry. Probably there is so many more opportunities or other ways to do it, but of course you will need nonetheless some kind of portfolio, and this is very important. So, do you have any questions? No? Come on. Okay. Mm-hmm. That's true. There is nothing like overnight success. Yeah, and even I think at some point Square Enix, they almost failed for bankruptcy, and last game that they was about to make, it was Final Fantasy. This is the name. And right now, what the number is? 5 there? Yeah, so, yeah, of course. I was afraid a little bit about like if those differences will be too big, but I just tried, okay, let's go with it. And I think this is something universal, let's say, but come on, this is creative industry. You have to be creative with your work. Any other questions? Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, this is for me. It's kind of weird because as I came here, definition of gaming means something a little different here, because it's related to all those casinos over here. Yeah. Yeah, they even have like this whole room with all those computers. I go there one time and I see so many young kids playing the Overwatch and Fortnite. It's amazing. Finally, kids can do something in casinos. Okay, so any other questions? Not? Okay. Yeah, so speaking about clones, yeah. You know, there is there's so many games right now that you can't came up with something like crazy innovative right now. Even like Fortnite is clone of other games. So of course PUBG was like first big battle royale game, but there was so many before it. So it's all depends on the execution of the idea, and I think this makes game outstanding. Okay, so let's make a quick break. Uh, so we don't, I won't overload you with knowledge. So, 2 minutes break? Okay. Shall we continue? Okay, great. Wow, you are so nice. Okay, I won't touch those cable. So, game jams. As I promise, I have another presentation. I hope that you don't hate me for that. No, not at all. Okay, so again, for sake of this recording, hi, I'm Patryk Gałach. I'm CEO of Lublin GameDev Foundation, and of course, I'm head of game department at Netins Software. And what makes me speak about game jams and why you should attend those? Those are a few games that I make on few of game jams that I attend. The last test entrance is over here. Story about this game is that literally week after I arrived here in Las Vegas, I just get message, hey, listen, there is this Las Vegas Summer Game Jam event going on. Maybe you should attend this. So yeah, I was thinking, okay, this sounds good. I should go. But I didn't know anyone. So I was there just running, walking, speaking with people, and I was like, okay, it looks like I'm going to make game alone. But after speaking with a few people, we somehow formed a team. And actually, this is the best game I ever made on a game jam. And crazy enough, this game won the first prize. So. Yeah, but it was team effort, so Albert, also for you. So, what Game Jam is? Who don't know what Game Jam is? Whoa, okay, so Game Jam basically is a challenge. It's challenge that you will create game with very limited time and sometimes with a specific theme going on a Game Jam. So this last one in Las Vegas was like 2 days, basically. Connor was host of this Game Jam, and it was great. Amazing. So why you should consider going for Game Jam even? Of course, come on, if you want to get into game industry, you need to meet people. And on a Game Jam, it's the best place to meet those, because you will meet other people that have more experience, so you also can learn from them. And of course, you have to do this big brainstorming, because often themes for Game Jams are released literally on the beginning of the Game Jam. So you have like only a few hours to come up with ideas, so a lot of work. Of course, you will need to learn to collaborate with other people. So if you don't have your own team, then you should form or join others and help them. If you don't have any experience with making games, then the best option that I can give you, try to find people that need some help. Probably it won't be something related to programming or making models or anything like that, but maybe they will struggle with maybe finding some songs, music, or they will just need some kind of simple game story, just for sake of having them. And of course, you have time to test your ideas. And let's say you came up with idea, okay, I want to create some kind of RPG game with card-based gameplay. And with Game Jam, this is great because you will force yourself to make this game within the time limit. So you will waste, let's say, only weekend of your life, or maybe afterwards you will work later on this project. But if it won't work, then you will already see that this is not the way I envisioned that, and maybe I should not follow this idea anymore. So, how you should prepare yourself for Game Jam? Of course, you will need to bring few things. Of course, computer, laptop, PC, whatever you want. You also need to pre-install your favorite software or with tools that you will use on a Game Jam. So if you are a programmer, you need, let's say, game engine, you need Visual Studio or other IDE. If you are a graphic, then you will need probably Photoshop, Blender, GIMP, whatever, you name it. You probably know more about those. And of course, you have to have open minds, especially as themes are presented on the site. So this will help you a lot, because fixing on one idea, it's not the best thing you can do on a Game Jam. So, of course, you should use already existing tools. So using created engine like Unity, Unreal, Construct, there's plenty more of those, and you can choose whatever suits you. And yeah, of course, you will also need to be familiar with the tool, and going on a Game Jam without knowing anything about tools that you are going to use, it's not the smartest idea, but some people still do it. Of course, making games require something nice to look at, so using box is not something acceptable, besides maybe making a very minimalistic game. And you can find so many free assets available online. So for example, opengameart.org or kene.nl, or whatever engine that you are using, you can go to marketplace. In Unity it's like asset store, on Unreal it's marketplace basically, but probably for other tools there is something very similar. So, how can you survive Game Jam? Of course, before Game Jam, I recommend getting some sleep, because With fresh mind, you can create so much more, and you can come up with even better ideas. And you should also get some rest during the game jam if you don't come up with something too big. Besides, you shouldn't have to do that. Of course, you will need team. You can form it on a game jam site, or you can form it with your friends before the game jam. And because why you would even bother with that? Because with more people, you can create so much more, and sometimes as game jam have very limited time, probably you won't have time to make all those things. So having additional hands to help with your game, this is something really cool. And of course, you need to know your weaknesses. And especially we test that with Albert came up with idea to let's make brainstorm and let's filter. Let's come up with as many ideas as we can, and we throw them on a whiteboard that we have on a game jam site. And after throwing whole bunch of them, we finally start filtering them for those which we are liking more. And then as we end up with, like, let's say 5, then we will start discussing, okay, we are a team of programmers, designers, but we don't really have much experience with making graphics. So this limits us to making something programming heavy and something very light on asset sides. And those sites that I showed you previously, those are great for providing those. And of course, the first important rule of every game jam idea you should have is not to overcomplicate, because you will end up with too big game that you want to create in too little time, and at some point you realize that, oh my, we have just, like, let's say 2 hours left and we are in the middle of nowhere. And well, I have to say that we were pretty lucky with our idea because it was so simple that basically on a second day morning we basically have mechanic done, and we just need to throw a whole bunch of assets into a game. And of course, this is a very important one. So have some fun. Come on, we are spending together weekend of our life. We are making games. This is amazing how lucky we are to make those. Come on. So remember, have fun, meet other people, help them. If you don't know how to do something, ask other for help. And you will be surprised how much you can learn during only, let's say, 2 days, only 1 weekend. Come on. This is great thing. And of course, on top of all of those things, you will have game created within 1 weekend. How cool is that? And just to show you how amazing game jams are, we are running. Whoa. Okay. No. Okay. Yeah. What's going on? No way. Let's refresh our presentation. Yeah, so on top of that, we are also hosting game jams, especially for Global Game Jam that is taking place in last weekends of January. So I highly encourage you to attend one, or maybe host site even here in Las Vegas, because I saw that for last 5 years there was no Global Game Jam site for, come on, Las Vegas, you can make it. Okay, will it work or not? Okay. YouTube. Yeah, we have to do it old school way. Loop, jam. Okay, great. What? Okay. So, maybe this. Okay, I wasn't expecting that. Let's. Yeah, but I play it already. Let's. What? How can you? Really? Okay. What a shame, what a shame. Okay, so I won't be able to show that. So believe me, it's so fun to make games within this limited time. And the best part is that after all those time that you spent on the site making those games, you will, after all of this, you will get feedback on your idea and your implementation of the game. And with that, there's no Game Jam site register yet for this event, and I highly encourage you to host one, because I will host one in Lublin, so I can't do this. So it's up to you to host second biggest Game Jam in Las Vegas after, of course, summer one. So yeah, come on, go ahead. Hosting Game Jam site, it's not that big problem besides finding location. And if you need to get what steps you need to take, then come to me afterwards and we can chat about that. So with that said, oh my, I'm so sad because it's so amazing. But okay, yeah. Any questions? Thank you. So, questions related to game jams and why they are so amazing? No? Okay, so thank you.
For me, the collaboration is the best part. It's not the end result of what you make, it was the process of the
Yeah, exactly.
best part of it.
Yeah, and meeting all those people on the game side, it's so freaking amazing because you see passion in their faces and they are running, I need to make this game, coding. Okay, thank you. Okay, so about networking, I think we don't have any more presentations. So I think someone want to tell anything else? Okay, I will let Gunnar say his things. YouTube, you betrayed me. Why?
What's the name of the video?
It's Loop Jam. So first LUB Jam.
We can post it on our social media afterwards.
Great.
Well, thank you, Patrick. Yeah, I don't have anything so formal. So last month we had the IGDA Las Vegas survey. I'm just trying to connect to the community out here and see what the demographics were as we're what you guys are interested in, if you're more development focused or art focused. And we had a short little raffle there for 3 people that won a free Steam gift card and then a free copy of System Shock, courtesy of Larry of NetDive Studios. I doubt the people are here because I know even from the first winner, she said that she couldn't come on Tuesdays. So, but the 3 winners were Ryan Dombro. You happen to be here? No. Scarlett. No. Yeah, and then Albert Tantero. Okay, you won. Yes. Okay, cool. So I'll send. You don't need to come up. Yeah, I'll send you an email after this. Okay, so cool. I'm glad someone was here. Yeah, so that's it. So this the final hour. We have the room until 8 p.m. and so it's just going to be for networking. Yes, I'm the vice chair. You know, Grover. We have Sam, and then Larry in the back. He is the business director of NetDive Studios, and they are just today, right? Discord has launched a new storefront because you know how Steam has Steam Direct and now they're overflooded with products and it's very hard to find stuff. Well, Discord has an alternative where it's much more curated. So Larry can tell you more about that if you want to talk to him. So yeah, please. So yeah, please enjoy the time. Thank you.